Hello everyone, myself Professor Jaya Suryanshi, and in today's lectures I will explain the contents, that is the Hadoop architectures, Hadoop distributed file systems, what is the write operations in file system in Hadoop, and reading a file system in Hadoop. So now we will discuss first what is the Hadoop architectures. This is the graphical representations of the Hadoop architecture. So Hadoop is an open source Java based programming framework which supports the processing and storage of extremely large set of data in a distributed computing environment using the simple programming model. Hadoop has a very strong processing power and the ability to handle virtually unlimited parallel tasks. So with the help of the Hadoop, applications can be run on the system with the thousands of commodity hardware nodes. It can be handled the thousands of terabyte of data. Hadoop has distributed file system which facilitate the rapid data transfer rate among the nodes. This allows the systems to proceed even in case one or more nodes get failed. This is approach avoid the unexpected data loss. So Hadoop has quickly emerged as a functions for being data processing tasks like the scientific analysis of data, planning of business and sale, and processing enormous volume of data include the social media data. So we will discuss now what is the architectures of the Hadoop. So Hadoop architectures contain the main components, and that main components are the first is the HDFS, that is the Hadoop distributed file systems. So HDFS stands for the Hadoop distributed file systems. It states that the file will broken into the block and stored in nodes over the distributed architectures. It provides high throughput access to the applications of the data. So in figure you can see here the Hadoop. This is the Hadoop main components of Hadoop architecture. Then another one is the yarn. Second one component is the yarn. Yarn stands for the yet another resource negotiator. Okay, this is the yarn. Then it is used for the job scheduling and mapping the cluster, that is the multiple nodes. So third one part is the map reduce. This is belong to the application reals. So this yarn based system for parallel processing of large data set using the key value pair. The map task takes input data and convert it into the data set which can be computed in a key value pair. So that is the next one is the Hadoop, that is the Hadoop common. These Java libraries and utilities are used to start the Hadoop. These are used by the another Hadoop modules, and this library provides the files and OS level abstraction. So this is the explanations of the Hadoop architecture. Then now we will discuss what is the Hadoop distributed file systems. Okay, so this is the graphical representations of Hadoop distributed file systems. So Hadoop storage contains the tremendously huge data set in a distributed computing environment. Hadoop can basically change the way enterprises store, process and analyze the data. Unlike the conventional storage file systems, Hadoop facilitates many types of the analytic workloads to run on the same data. At the massive scale on industry standard components. So this Hadoop architectures is belongs to the different components, that is the main components are the name node and the data node. Now in the HDFS is the primary storage systems used by the Hadoop applications. HDFS is a distributed file systems and a framework provided by the Hadoop for analysis and transformations of huge data set which use the MapReduce paradigms. The HDFS is based on the Google file systems and it provides the high performance access to the data across the Hadoop cluster. So HDFS has become a key tool for managing the pool of big data and supporting the big data analysis applications. So HDFS is usually deployed on commodity hardware of low cost where the possibility of several failure is common. The file system is designed to be highly fault tolerant. The HDFS facilitates the rapid transfer of data between the different computer nodes and enable Hadoop system to proceed its executions even if one or more nodes gets fail. That decrease the risk of the catastrophic failure even in the event that numerous nodes fail. This architecture used by the Hadoop HDFS is shown in the that is works on the master slave architecture. So name node which manage the metadata of file systems and data node which store the actual data. So we can see here this is the data node and this is the name node. So actual data is stored in the name node. So name node which manage the metadata of the files and the data node which store the actual data. The HDFS namespace is a hierarchy of files and directories. In nodes are used to represent this data and directories. In nodes are used to record the attributes such as the permissions, modifications and access time, etc. The file contained is split into the large block and each block of file is independently replicated at the multiple data nodes. The tree structures of namespace is maintained by the name node. It maps the block of data node. In a cluster, there may be hundreds of data nodes and thousands of HDFS client per cluster as number of application tasks can be executed by each data node simultaneously. There is some advantages is there of the HDFS. We will see what are the advantages of the HDFS. That is it is provide the high scalability, low limitations, it is the open source and it is the low cost. Whereas there is again some disadvantages also there. The disadvantages is still it is rough, means software under the active deployment. Then programming model is very restrictive and cluster management is the high. So these are the limitations of Hadoop. Then we will see how the reading a file in the distributed file systems. So data read request is served by HDFS name node and the data node. So let's call the reader as a client and this diagrams specific file state operations is Hadoop we will explain. So now in the first we will go to the step by step. Here the steps are represented using the number wise: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and 7. So in the first stage, this is the first, that is we are performing the reading operation. So this is the first stage. First one, the client initiate the read request by calling the open method. This is the open method of file systems object. It is an object of type distributed file system. So it is your first operations. Then in the second step, this is your second step, metadata request to get back the locations. So this object connect to the name node using the RPC and get metadata information such as the locations of the block of the file. So here note that this address are of the first few block of the file. So next one is the third step, that is the metadata flow. This metadata received from the node. So in this third step, in response to this metadata request, address of the data node having the copy of that block is written back. So in the third, we this address of that particular data will be written back to the here. Then in the fourth step, that is your fourth step. In the fourth, once the address of data nodes are received, an object type file distributed FS data input stream is returned to the client. So this is your FSD data input stream. So here once the address of data node is received, an object type FSD data input stream is written to the client. So FSD data input stream contain the DFS input stream which takes care of interactions with the data node and the name node. So in the fourth step, the client invoke read method which causes the DFSI input stream to establish connections with the first data node with the first block of file. So because of this, it will set the connections through your data node. So after in the fifth state, this is your fifth step, that is data is read in the form of the stream where the client invoke the read method repeatedly. This process of read operations continue till they reach the end of the block. So actual reading operation is performed through the step number 5. After the completions of reading the complete data, the operation is performed by the sixth step. Once the end of the block is reached, the DFS input stream close the connections and move to the locations to the next data for the next block. So once the client has done with the reading, it's calls a close method. So this because of this fifth and sixth, actual data read from the data node, and after the completions of reading, the close signal is transferred from the client. So this is the complete operations. After the 7th, the complete reading operation is performed in HDFS. Now we will discuss how the write operation is performed in HDFS. So this is the diagram for writing a file into the HDFS. So again here step by step procedure is given. This is the 1 to last operation is up to the 12 stage. So one by one we will go. So while writing operations, first a client initiate the write operations by calling the create method of the distributed file system object which create a new files. This is through the step number 1 that is showing in the figure. In the next stage, this is the distributed file system object connected to the name node using the RPC call and initiate new file creation. However, these files create the operation does not associated any block with the file. It is responsibility of name node to verify that the file which is being created does not exist already and a client has correct permissions to create a new file. If the file already exists or client does not have sufficient permission to create a new file, then IO exception is thrown the client. Otherwise, the operation succeed and new records for the file is created by the name node. So after the completions of 2 steps, the third step is the write. Once the new record in name node is created, an object of the FS data input stream is written to the client. A client uses it to write the data into the HDFS. Data write method is invoked through the steps number 3. Now after this, the step number 4 is executed. Under this, FS data output stream contain the FS output stream object which look after the communications with the data node and the name node. While the client continue writing the data, DFS output stream continue creating packet with this data, and these packets are in queue into a queue which is called as the data queue. So this is your writing process through the steps number 4, and your data will be present in the data queue. Next step is the step number 5th. This is the step number 5th. This is the data streaming. So there is a one more component called the data streamer which consume this data queue. Okay, so there is a connection between the data queue and the data streamer. Data streamer also asks name node for allocations of new blocks, thereby picking the desirable data nodes to be used for replication. After this, the step number 6, that is the data node pipelining. Now the process of replication start by creating the pipeline using the data node. So here we have chosen the replications level of 3, and hence there are 3 data node is in the input line. So how many replications data node we choose here? That is the 3 data node 1, 2 and 3. After the completions of step number 5, the data streamer pours the packet into the first data node into the pipeline. So actual data will be writing into the particular data node. So every data node in the pipeline store the packet received by it and forward the same second data node in the pipeline, because we are creating the replica. 2 replica node we are creating. So here the same data that is transferred to this data queue will be copied or the write onto the respective data node one by one. So this works will be done under the steps number 8. After the 9, steps number 9, this is the acknowledgement queue. Another queue, that is the acknowledgement queue, is maintained by DFS output stream to store the package which are waiting for acknowledgement from the data node. So after the completions of acknowledgement queue work, next one step is the 10, that is the one acknowledgements for the packet is the queue is received from all the data nodes in the pipeline. It is removed from the acknowledgement queue in the event for any data node failure. Packets from this queue are used to reinitiate the operation. Next one's stage is the 11. This is the stage is the 11. After the client is done with the writing data, it calls a close method, calls to close. This is your close operations in the steps number 11, result in flushing remaining data packets into the pipeline, followed by writing for the acknowledgements. So this is the last one stage, close operation state, because the writing operation is now over. And last one is the step number 12. This is your step number 12, that is once the final acknowledgement is received, name node is contracted to tell it that the file write operation is the completed. So this writing a file in the SDFS will follow these 12 stages for complete writing operations. So now we have covered through this what is the Hadoop architectures, writing and reading operation in distributed file system.